Uh, Hello, PBA. Welcome to your week 5 to 6 recap. Sorry that these have not been coming out on a weekly basis. They've been a bit more of a bi-weekly basis, but that should change for week 7 to 8. I'll be able to get them out with week 8 talking about a playoff picture. And Vinny mentioned in announcements that there would be a special guest. So I would like to introduce I Miss Dad, another mod for on PBA.
Hello, everyone. Happy to be here reviewing some of your very impressive games.
Yeah, how have you been so far?
Been good. I think a lot of people are experiencing burnout, including myself, so I've stepped back a bit, but
Yeah,
it's
that's
nice
fair.
to see all of the coaches stepping up and being good and active replacements. So
Yeah,
we're happy to see that.
I'm not gonna lie, burnout has been reaching me a little bit, but it's still fun the game regardless, and it's really nice to see that PBA is still thriving despite the burnout.
Absolutely. We have a
Oh
good
yeah,
community here.
for sure. Okay, so now without further ado, let's go into the Week 5 Mo Division recap. So Week 5 was actually pretty cool. There were a lot of good games. Um, But for example, one set that someone brought was I think Pikachu, where he brought weak armor, power herb, sky attack, Mandibuzz, which was pretty cool. I'm not sure if it did anything, but I don't remember off the top of my head. But that was pretty cool.
I
But
enjoy the idea of this set, although Sky Attack is most of the time just a bad move because stuff learns Brave Bird, but
yeah, that is true.
regardless,
I
it
think he
is a
had
fun set.
I think he had Brave Bird as well, which is the funny part.
Yeah, Brave Bird and Sky
Well,
Attack.
I think the game of the week this week is going to go to Shandy versus Thief Yi. I know you're a big advocate of Shandy and
You
their
like
improvement.
you like Shandy. Think he had a bit of a rough start.
Yeah,
Um, he as well, but yeah, I think that game was a pretty aggressive game. Obviously,
yeah. This
I
game
don't
was a
know if we're
really
gonna.
good game, especially on
Yeah,
Shandy's part. So I'm gonna make a transition real quick, and I'm gonna pull that game up.
I'm actually always impressed by I've seen a lot of the Rillaboom weakness policy sets against Corviknight teams,
Yeah,
and I am always impressed by how well Corviknight just eats any, even like a +3 superpower from Rillaboom
so
decently well.
can you see the game?
Yep.
Okay, cool. So let me make the transition. All right. So before I start this, usually what I and other guests do is we kind of just look at the matchup, see anything that goes in, some other sets that we aren't expecting, etc. So I mean, just from the look of it, well, Mega Medicham goes in as always if the Corviknight dies. Um, I
I
think
think
at least.
Rhyperior is pretty decent here outside of Seismitoad.
Yeah,
Rhyperior looks good. Really, Shandy's offensive side is pretty good into almost his whole team.
yeah, for sure. Well, Shandy's offense is actually insane. Weavile,
Yeah, it's really
Gengar,
strong.
Rillaboom, Mandibuzz. Not Mandibuzz,
Yeah,
Medicham.
Gengar he trained well. Yeah,
Yeah,
he pretty much brought full offense,
yeah,
essentially. I mean, he trans always pretty wally and hard to break if you don't have super effective stuff, and you can always go a bit bulkier
for
with
sure.
Rhyperior too, but
Yeah.
a lot of offense.
So I'm gonna start this game. I'll put it on fast. So Corviknight versus Weavile
I
goes
think the
into.
starts were pretty straightforward. Yeah, the body press, which was a good prediction on Ikey's part.
That does so much chip. Jesus.
Then I think the hard swap to boom was easy here, but I do like the activation of weakness policy.
Yeah, that was cool.
Um, I'm not sure. Did Shandy bring horsepower? What did Shandy bring? I don't think he brought horsepower. I think it was just superpower because that's why he went against it on
Yeah, he
Drapion.
just brought superpower, and this poison
Um,
sucks. This poison
the
sucks a lot.
poison was extremely unfortunate.
Yeah,
The
his
30%
Rillaboom would have
poison
popped
chance,
off.
but yeah, that's Rillaboom probably just cleaned the game up. Otherwise,
Yeah,
he might have had extreme speed on Zygarde. I'd not see if they put the paste in there, but
I haven't seen it
um,
either, but for now I'm going to assume it doesn't have it, or
yeah,
I'm not sure. I actually can't assume either or. But
because I would have assumed that would have came out over Cord if he does swap it out after this.
yeah,
So
so he superpowers and kills. And then Corviknight
And
comes in, eats it with a crit.
even with a crit of +2, superpower still didn't kill. It's just impressive. And the rap period was pretty
SmackDown was a cool tech.
standard. SmackDown's a cool tech. It doesn't work as often as you'd like it to.
Yeah.
Um, but it is always something good to bring against Corbin Knight, of course.
Gengar comes
This
in.
next play, I was very impressive. I don't know if he put some like HP, a good amount of HP into the
Yeah.
Blacephalon,
How did
but
that
I
Blacephalon take that?
cannot fucking believe that a Blacephalon lived
I
to
actually cannot. I
set
can't
up off a
fathom that. Oh
Gengar.
my god. That.
Yeah,
How
I
did that
was
Blacephalon take that?
yeah, that Blasef had to have some HP, a decent amount of HP investment, because I was assuming Shandy was scarfed on it,
Yeah.
on the Gengar. Because I believe Blasef was also scarfed. Could
Yeah.
be wrong, but I think that's safe to say.
Zycard comes in, comes up with Brick Break. I assume that was for Weavile.
Yeah,
Weavile
yeah.
comes in.
Weebile did Weebile thing. It's a couple triple axles.
Yep. Corvus
He
too low
does,
to actually shrug off the damage.
yeah. And then the finish of this game is pretty straightforward too.
Yeah.
Double Prio on Metachan was very smart, but
Yeah.
it was also pretty good against stuff like Zygarde. Triple
Yeah.
axle miss sucked, but it only mattered for
This is
differential,
also a
really.
big part of why I want to show this replay, because despite that, he still had an out that he saved.
Yeah, yeah, which was good. Metachan was very good at breaking, and it was good that Shandy kept it healthy for late game.
Yeah.
Because I'm fairly sure Gardevoir, yeah, Moonblast definitely would have killed, but
Or Hyper Voice.
both
Yeah.
punches always good. Yeah, or Hyper Voice, whatever he brought on it. But
I don't know what he ran. Which one did he run? Oh well, I don't even know. But yeah, the
yeah,
main reason I chose this game was because Shandy played like phenomenally. Like he played really well, and
that was good.
he
Think
brought
he
some cool
got
tech.
unlucky with Rillaboom, but
He got unlucky with
I
Rillaboom
gotta.
and Weavile, which really
I
sucks.
am. I am also curious if that was a low roll on Gengar that game. I definitely feel like it probably was.
It
I'm just
probably
gonna run
was.
it.
I'm gonna be completely honest. I think it was a low roll, and despite it being a low roll, I still can't believe that. How did it
I'm
live?
just gonna run an extremely quick calc here. Let me see.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
sure.
if we just have like a Black Sludge Gengar Shadow Ball against the Blacephalon, um, base that's doing 128% minimum.
Jeez,
So like that Blacephalon had to have had
like max HP or something.
it had to have been max HP and like it might have been Assault Vest. Was he
Oh,
Assault Vest?
I have no clue if he
Uh,
was AV. Um,
Otherwise he was max HP with like half SPDF investment.
Let me take a second to go find his paste. I have
Yeah,
to.
because that was
Actually, I don't know if I can because this is a week 5 game. So
yeah, probably not, but
yeah,
it's safe to say that he ran a lot of SPDF and
yeah,
HP
he
investment,
ran a lot of bulk.
which is impressive, of course, but that's
Yeah,
very good prep. That kind of prep is very impressive. So
yeah. I also find it funny that the Mo division is bringing out more heat than the Heat division.
yeah, I think Mo's been really innovative. I have appreciated. I don't think Pikachu's Heat works very often, but I do appreciate them
I appreciate the attempt. Yeah.
bringing some stuff out every once in a while. Yeah.
Uh,
Um.
Sorry, I'm
Yeah,
gonna
Mo's
pause
been
it for like 1 second. If you want to just continue, I'll be like right back.
okay. Yeah, Mo's been impressive this season. It's been fun watching. I think Jolt has been very impressive this season. He had an incredible start. I think Michelle also has had an incredible start. JR's been very consistent. The one game that he dropped was, still a very close game. Anting's in there well as well. I think Anders should be a top 4 coach at this point. I think the first couple games really brought his record down a bit, but
Uh,
everybody's been pretty impressive so far. So,
yeah, for sure. You can
just,
hear me now, right? I'm just making sure.
yep,
Okay,
yep. I just talked a little bit about standings,
okay. Oh,
current standings.
let me flip to the week 6 game.
Okay.
So that game was yeah, this is Ellis versus D-Bay. Ellis brought a pretty cool Decidueye set that did a lot of work when he was in a behind position. So I'll play that
Yeah,
game.
low sweep is a very nice bring on some bonds. I think a lot of people forget about it.
Yeah,
I
Well,
heavily prefer that over something like Brick Break most of the time.
I think low sweep was brought because Decidueye doesn't get any other coverage.
I think it might get Brick Break, but that might be it.
I actually don't know if it
I'm
gets
not
brick
quite.
break.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure.
That's something I can look up while we talk about just the preview.
I think here, Zerd obviously can go in, but Zapdos has to die first. Landorish can check it to a decent degree depending on the set.
Yeah.
Um, Regirock seems like a weird bring to me. I am going to assume that it's a Zapdos deterrent.
It's weird that Regirock comes when there's 4 Mons on this team that beats the Regirock in Pangoro,
Yeah,
Vaporeon, Decidueye, and Lando.
I do not really agree with the Regirock bring. I think Regirock's one of those low tier mons that people like to think works every once in a while. But honestly, I think I'd rather just have like Rhydon or something like that I can run extra bulk on.
Yeah.
Mega Gallade always looks good. It looks great in this matchup. It kills his whole team.
Hmm.
If played correctly, of course. Celesteela looks pretty good.
He got Mega
I
Gallade
don't.
Celesteela.
Yeah,
Jesus.
looks like it. Blissey obviously just hardwalls half of his team, but Pangoro kind of dissuades that. But I think it's a pretty even team preview.
Yeah.
I think if Gallade opens up like it usually does, then it's really hard for the other coach to really deal with it.
Yeah, for sure. All right, so I'll start this. Finny with the Tims comes out. Okay, rocks are set. Oh my god. All right, well, this Gallade is just forced in because it dies.
Yep, and then Axel, of course, activates static. That's pretty standard. I
Yep.
don't really like that he went for Gallade so early this game.
I feel like
I
Steela
would
was
have
the switch.
I would have preferred him to play kind of an early game breaker with Steela or Zarude as opposed to just hard swapping,
Yeah. I-
Gallade and wasting him that early because Gallade won this game for him 100%.
Yeah, Regirock gave him so much. It put him in such a bad position with the lead because once again Regirock loses to 2/3 of the team.
Yeah, I think if you're bringing Regirock, that should always is that and Blissey should always be your swap in on Zap instead of just swinging.
Yeah. Wait, there's a Blissey
Like I
too.
think
I don't
that's super
understand why the
risky.
Regirock came.
Yeah, really risky, but yeah, Pangoro's in for free here, and it pretty much just kills something.
Yeah.
I think he does. Yeah, he goes a rude, so this thing's for sure
Scouting
scarfed.
for the CC. Yep.
Yeah, I'm almost positive that he brought it scarfed
Mhm. Yep.
this game from the way that he played it. I do love the Jellicent set. I won't spoiler it until we see when it gets knocked off, but I do really like the set. Again, I think that's like a Kelp thing. I don't think Energy Ball is even worth bringing,
I think he should
but
have just brought Toxic.
yeah. But he brought I'll just say it. He brought AV on it, which I think is a good idea. Although I don't agree with it. I'm not sure what the rest of Mike's team is.
I don't know if I
I'm gonna
agree
guess
with.
that was his.
I
I'm
think
gonna
the
guess that was his
Jellicent.
Diancie
Yeah.
answer.
I don't
But
know if I
Blissey's also
agree.
right there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't. So yeah, Anzerd obviously just swings on Zapdos. He's scarfed in, so what can you do? Monkey is nice, but its move pool is limited and its speed tier is kind of wacky. So
Yeah.
Fangirl's in for free again. Yeah, you can see here.
Knocks off
Assault Vest
AV.
is gone, but yeah, I mean he brings Toxic or something like that and Strength Sap this game. I think that Jellicent set just stalled his whole team,
Yeah.
especially with Zapdos. So
Easy to say that when we're watching, but
yeah, you can see Regirock just like ultimately didn't even do anything
Yeah.
this game.
I don't
So
even think that miss mattered.
no, it didn't for sure. You would have had to crit on it. Yeah, Meteor Beam here. It's just a little
I would have saved it
a
for
little too
Zapdos.
late. He needed a speed increase on it, as well. But the Celesteela set, I just think a lot of people default into the Tautomize.
Yeah.
But Meteor Beam's like a one-off, and if you click it again, usually the opponent brings some shit that'll just swap in and
I think Meteor Beam was the right bring because of Zapdos, but he pressed it at the wrong time.
yeah. He could have just pressed Air Slash on the
Pangoro.
Pangoro for sure, yeah. Yeah, and then the rest of the game, it's obvious. It's just gonna be Blissy's stall. I
Yeah,
don't believe he brought Toxic on Blissey,
I don't think he did
so
either.
no.
Well, that's a mistake there.
Yeah, and he might not have brought Air Slash, is what I'm kind of gathering. I'm not quite sure though.
I
Let's
don't know
see.
either. I think he might
I
not
don't
have.
think he. Yeah, I don't think he did.
And the decision why still outspeed him because
Um,
of low sweep.
yeah, and he didn't. I think is D-Bay is the one that no. So I'll ask one. Yeah, I think D-Bay just brought a couple of very small differences in the sets and mons that he brought would have made the game much easier.
Yeah, like even
But it
so,
wasn't. It wasn't. He played it close,
yeah,
even though
because this
there were
match was
some
still pretty
misplays early.
close
So
despite some questionable brings.
yeah, I think Outlast played very well though. I
Yeah,
think he played to his conditions well.
I agree.
Getting Goro in is a huge part of playing with it, and if you can swap correctly, Goro just breaks through most teams with dual stab. So
I agree. Yeah. Uh,
I don't think I have much more about that game.
yeah, I think that pretty
I
much
think that
covered
was
it.
pretty straightforward. Yeah. Alice has been playing well though. I think even the couple losses he's had have been close. So
Ellis is 4-2 right now, which is pretty
yeah,
good.
yeah.
So that's basically it. So now for the standings, we have JR Boys at the top. We have Michelle and Jolt behind, and then Anting and LS. Ander, who had a pretty rough first 2 games from my understanding. He's now in
Yeah, but
the top 6.
he's now 4-3 plus 5, I believe.
Oh, he's
So
now
he
four and
just
three.
won. Yeah, he just won. Lucas lost again, so I believe Lucas is now out of the playoffs.
Yeah, it appears that way.
Um, like officially, I think it is interesting to see number 6 through number 16 because they can all vary a lot. I think Pika and Lucas is now out because he's 2-5, but
Yeah,
like Pika even still has a slight chance of making it. I think differential is going to be kind of hard, but like Fedora, Ken Bob, I think Onder might be locked if he has good differential, even if he loses the next week.
yeah,
So yeah, I think this is actually the closest division. So
yeah. This division
that's
is
good to
crazy
see.
close. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and I
then,
think really the only person that's been playing at another level almost every game is JR.
yeah,
And
JR has
JR has
been
been
doing
very
really
impressive.
well.
Yeah.
Michelle's Diggersby has also been doing pretty well from what I'm seeing
Mm-hmm.
too.
And Shell's been playing very well. I've also been very impressed with Joel.
I've been very
I
impressed with
think
Joel. He's been bringing some pretty good sets.
I think Joel's been playing very well this season.
I know Antink has been doing well too. They keep bringing Charm Mega Venusaur, and it's been annoying me now because I don't understand what Charm is doing against anyone.
Yeah, I
But
know.
I
I
mean,
think I think Anting is trolling a little bit and having some fun with it, and I respect that. So
fair enough. That might be it, and I
as
might
you do.
because I only watch the replays. I don't actually see the post game chat or anything. So that might be it. Uh,
Yeah.
anyway, that's the standings. We'll go to the kill leaders. Diggersby is still at the top. Then you have 3 fighting types, pretty expected. You have Feeny, Mega Slowbro is there. Some other things like Chandelure, Nidoking, Zapdos, Dragapult. I think the biggest surprise to me is Muckalola with 8 kills. That's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think Jolt's been doing a good job of bringing some offensive sets, and I've been watching his replays with it.
Yeah, Jolt's
And
been
Muck can
killing it.
definitely clean up some games. So
Yeah, I think.
but yeah, I think Metacham and Urshifu are almost always top 5
Yeah, I
most of
mean,
the time. Pole,
you get those things to be the
Nidoking,
kill leaders.
Lopunny.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I think the biggest things are Jolt's, Mega Slowbro, and Muckalola. Nothing else is
Yeah,
really
those are
super
the two
surprising.
surprising ones.
Yeah.
Diggersby at number 1 is obviously pretty surprising because I just don't think a lot of people draft it. But
It got 2 sweeps, to
Michelle's
be
been,
fair.
yeah, Michelle did have, I think, was it like 2 5-kill games or a 6
I
kill and a
think one
5-kill
6-0
game?
and one 5-0.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. So you know that'll get you there. Just like Metacham, I think Shandy can probably get a Metacham up there in the next couple of games too. So
Yeah. All right. So I think that is it for Mo. So now we'll go on to the Heat division. The division with almost no heat whatsoever. Yeah. So
Heat with the least heat.
yeah. So the game of the week, I put this game here because I thought it was a pretty well played game, and what's it called? These both of these coaches are at the top at the time. Like they were both really close. So this one is Gradual versus Shade, and though this one's not really like the big mon that stood out, I put Florges because it did a lot more work than you'd expect from a Florges. Yeah, everybody just says Florges sucks. It's a bad mon, etc. But Shade has been putting in some work with it.
Yeah, Florges is a good special wall. I think people just shit on it because Aromatisse has better defenses and yada yada and slightly better coverage. But
It's
I
more
mean, if you
so
need a
because Florges gets completely walled by steals, and sometimes
yeah,
you
and
have
I
to
mean,
hold it.
if you need something that'll get some wishes off, and it's especially bulky, so it's good enough. It's good enough for what you drafted for. The prices have been adjusted in most drafts for it, so
Yeah.
definitely good in certain matchups.
All right. So here's the matchup. Um.
Right off the bat, Illumise is 100% for Gallade.
Yeah.
That's like a common bat and Volbeat common encore defensive variants. I like a Rocky helmet, but you can always bring lefties, which is what I think Gradual brings this game.
Yeah.
Um, Odd Ninos for Kieran, obviously. Just gonna bring that thing max and attempt to swap it in on freeze dries and whatever else you can hit with it. Um, Nido King always looks good. Big surprise, right? Nido
Yeah.
King just kind of sweeps if Audino dies.
Yeah. Nido King tends to
Otherwise,
do it.
yeah, I mean Urshifu just destroys his entire team,
Well, there's
but
a
I think those are
Florges.
like, yeah. But you can also bring Iron Header, Poison Jab, and Tuco out super easily. So
True.
Urshifu always looks good in team preview, so it
Yeah.
doesn't really matter. Even if you bring its designed counter, Galarian Wheezing, it usually doesn't matter.
Is Galarian Weezing the best
So
counter?
it was his OU counter on ladder for quite a while that
I
people were
always thought
using, but
Clefable was arguably the best counter.
yeah, issue being is that if you run an adamant choice band,
Oh yeah, no,
coverage
that
moves
destroys
will
it. Yeah.
coverage
Weezing
moves will
might be
two hit
better. Yeah.
KO. Yeah, it almost to get KO as Wheezing too, I believe. Choice band adamant. So
Yeah. That Mon is a
welcome
menace.
to welcome to OU and Sword and Shield
Yeah.
Gen 8. But yeah, I think that's those are my thoughts on preview. I think it's pretty standard. Yeah, that's a good lead by Gradual here.
Yeah.
Urshifu
Turn
is a
one,
great
this
lead
thing
into his
takes
team.
70. I think it's
Yeah,
banded.
yeah, I'm pretty sure it's banded.
Yeah.
That did a lot, and he's not Flame Orb, so yeah, Drain Punch. I
Oh,
mean, Glade surprisingly does not get
I
coverage for
think he opted
Lumise,
for
so
boots on Illumise.
oh yeah, that's smart too. Yeah, so this is all pretty standard. Um, all the swaps are pretty standard. Here, yeah, Audino, and it somehow only takes 54% from a likely Specs Draco.
Yeah, I have no clue how it took that so
I
easily.
don't know either, but getting Melodic out of the way this game was really good for Gradual. Um, Melodic is one of those mons that if you let it keep coming in and getting recovers up, it's just a real pain to get
For
rid
sure.
of and remove from the
It's like the premier
board. So
definition of bulky water.
yeah, for sure. So yeah, that was a good prediction. Very good on Shade's part to not hard swap Nidoking in. People like to do that on Rotom Wash, and I personally think it's a terrible idea.
Yeah. Well,
That
first
miss
Hydro Pump.
really,
That's annoying for
yeah,
sure.
that miss really sucked, but I'm fairly sure that Sludge Wave was low roll on him.
Oh yeah,
Um,
definitely.
so it kind of evened out a little bit, kind of the same outcome. Yeah, Flora just does good. Cosmic Power Jirachi,
It's probably
as
a
you do.
weakness policy. Oh, it's
Yeah,
Chesto.
and he brought chest up. My issue with this set on Gradual's part is I don't think he has enough coverage for his whole team. Yeah, like he runs Psyshock. Um, I don't know if he runs Fire Punch. I don't think we get a chance to see the rest of it, but like
I
it
don't think so
happened,
either.
we kind of go into this where Delayed just sets up on it and then kind of stalled out, but Illumai is doing what it should do. Thunder Wave was a good move.
Mm-hmm.
But getting rid of that was really good for Shade as well.
Fleur just comes in and takes the hit. It's doing like the
Yeah,
one job it needs to.
I'm pretty sure it's max, and that thing still takes 41%, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Yep, Meteor Beam was smart, but yeah, and I mean,
I don't think the second meteor beam was
they
smart.
had it. Shade made some really good predict swaps this game, so that was nice to see. Yep, and then free swap Kyurem. So Kyurem, I think that confirms it's scarfed,
Yeah.
regardless. But yeah, no para there is pretty important. But obviously,
Yeah. And then Glade kind of just cleans it up. All right. Yeah. So that was basically it.
yeah. I think pretty straightforward game, but Shade made a lot of good prediction swaps. I don't even think Gradual played poorly. I think the Cosmic Power Jirachi set and the Neolego set were good in theory, but I think Shade brought good prep against them.
Yeah. Well, the Cosmic Power
And I
set
don't,
was a good idea
yeah.
because Shade's Dark type is a Cacturn.
Oh, for sure. No,
Yeah.
Cosmic Power would have went in well. It's just
I think the
Gallade
stored
was
powered was the bring.
healthy enough. Yeah, Stored Power is probably a better bring.
Yeah.
It for sure would have done more than Psyshock there. I'm almost positive.
Mm-hmm.
Whether it would have
One hit KO or not is to be decided.
But no, Shade made a lot of good predictions. I think Gradual played fine. I think Gradual played Urshifu well that game, actually, as well as he could have. The only difference would have been he would have had to predict an Iron Head onto Florges. But, if you're banded, it's really risky to make those plays. So,
For sure. Yeah.
but otherwise, I don't think it made a difference. Actually, that might have made a difference towards late game there because that would have OHKO'd Kyurem too as well. But regardless, that was a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You don't even know if he had it, honestly, because recently what I've been seeing is that most Urshifus don't even opt to run coverage to hit the fairy types because like they just think the interaction's not even worth it. Like they'll run CC, Wicked Blow, Sucker Punch, U-turn.
Yeah, some people just won't bother. So, when Wicked Blow is doing 41% to something that fully resists it, the coverage move isn't really necessary.
For sure, yeah.
So
that's the week 5. And now Heat's week 6. I actually completely forget who got this game. It's
Ace
Dat
Arm
Boy
and Pig
versus
Lord.
Ace Arm
Yep.
and Dat
Yep.
Boy.
Pig Lord, Dat Boy, yeah.
Yeah. I have Weezing Galarian here because Ace Arm made like 1 or 2 predicts with it that basically made the game. But yeah, it's
Yep.
nice to see Ace Arm finally doing some work. I know he's been busy during the beginning of the season, and he's been carrying PGP from what I hear. He's been doing really well, at least. I don't know about carrying, but he's doing really well in PGP.
Yeah, with some prep help, Ace is very good. And I think he's made a lot of big improvements over the last, few months or however long it's been, but he's been playing super well lately, so.
Yeah. And I think that definitely shows in his game versus Dat Boy because he played pretty well.
Yeah, he played very well this game. I actually think out of all of our replays, he probably played the best out of the coaches.
I'm going to
Thank you.
disagree for one game that we'll see, the Wash game. But I think this is probably the second best.
Yeah, I think he played well.
All right, so I have the game. All right.
Yep. Team preview is pretty even. I mean,
Ace Arm's team is absolutely terrifying.
I love Ace Arm's team. Actually, it looks exactly like a team that I'd draft.
Yeah,
Everything
for sure.
on it. But I think Corviknight actually doesn't look like a big issue here.
Well, when you have a
Corviknight,
an Electivire, there's not much and a Dragapult, there's not much Corviknight can do.
Corviknight was 100% just brought for Rillaboom, and obviously that's the whole point. Necrozma looks fine here, but I don't love it. I think it's good for Weezing. Otherwise, I think he did bring an offensive variant of it, which is a good bring here.
I question Swirlix.
I do too, but watching Swirlix during the game made me. Swirlix works more than you'd think it would with an EV light on it, but otherwise, Surfetch can punch some holes, but if it gets burned by Heatran, it's worthless.
For sure.
Coco's good here, but not incredible.
Yeah.
He has like 3 things that heavily resist. So, I think that's it for team preview though. Nothing really sticks out too much here, like Urshifu in the last ones or anything like that.
Yeah, definitely. So I'll play this. All right, so Core versus Rillaboom.
Yeah, knockoff's good there. U-turn's obvious. Letting
Prediction
it,
U-turn.
I do not think Rillaboom was like critical here at all for the game.
Yeah, Rillaboom doesn't
So I
do
think,
much.
I think letting it take some of that. Actually, this play was really surprising to me.
Which play?
I don't know if Dat Boy brought Earthquake on
Yeah.
Necrozma.
When I saw
So
this
I
play,
don't.
I'm like, you actually just stated on Necrozma. What the heck?
Yeah, I don't think he brought Earthquake. So good on Ace. I don't know if it's a good play on Ace's part or kind of a boneheaded play, but I do not think Dat Boy brought Earthquake on it. So I think that worked. Let me just double check that Necrozma gets Earthquake before
It
I
gets
keep
Earthquake and Earth Power.
chatting. I'm fairly positive.
It gets
Yeah,
both.
so
Yeah.
I definitely expected. I didn't expect an Autotomize. I kind of just expected. Yeah, if you want to keep playing it, though, we'll just talk through it.
Yeah.
But yeah, so he knocks off Shuka. So I definitely expected at that point for an EQ. Rocks are nice, but I don't think they're that important. And then he just goes for the Photon Geyser, which was really confusing to me.
Yeah.
Um, he has 2 things that get hit by EQ. I was just really surprised he didn't bring it, even when he has counter terrain, so grassy terrain doesn't neuter it. I think close combat was too safe of a play to go for there. I think probably Brave Bird would have done more, but what can you
Yeah.
do? Willow's really good on Corv there. Kind of makes Corv not do anything for the rest of the game.
Yeah. And then this is the
Fire
big play.
Blasphemous sucks, but I actually think contrary people, it was a good play, but I'm pretty positive that a Fire Blast into Sludge Wave would have killed this anyways.
Yeah, it was better to play safe, but I mean, Aesar made the
Yeah,
risk, and
so it was a nice play. But yeah, even if he went
it
for
was
Fire Blast and
unnecessary.
it hit, it would have been the same thing. Yeah, Will-O-Wisp on this makes Surfetch pretty much worthless for the rest of the game. Pain Split's a really good play on Wheezing there.
That thing
Sludge Wave
ate.
only doing 44% is impressive.
Yeah, that thing just ate that.
Heatran just comes in here though. Yeah, obviously. Fire Blast miss was kind of the way she goes after it hits 4 Magma Storms this game. So
Yeah.
70%.
He
Yeah, I mean
facades here.
Surfetch. Yeah, I was really surprised by the facade, but ultimately it didn't make a difference. I mean, he just comes in Dark Pulses
Yeah.
anyways.
Well, Aesar has no reason to predict or switch out or anything.
No. Yeah, Cross chop's an obvious play there. Good on Ace Arm. He early bluffed the Scarf, which was really important on the selective wire to get that kill.
Yeah.
And that was really good. Draco pretty much means the game's over at that point. Just completely over
Yeah.
because it, half special attack. Sub play was really well. He played Mega Gyarados really well here.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and so once he leaves and he can't, U-turn doesn't break it. That's for sure game.
Yeah. And the reason I put G-Weezing here is because G-Weezing got rid of all the counters for Mega Gyarados. It got rid of the Surfetched, got rid of the Swirlix, and it got rid of the Coco. So then Gyarados could just win. And I thought that he played it well.
I think Heatran and Electivire deserve honorable mentions as well, of
Oh,
course.
for sure.
But yeah, bluffing Scarf on Electivire was huge that game, so that was really good on his part. And if I was that boy, I also would have expected Scarf. So
Yeah.
Scarf made sense, especially against Coco and stuff. But
I
if you
think
think about it, Motor Drive makes it so you don't need to bring Scarf against a Coco matchup. So
yeah, I think
that's
that boy
pretty
made
smart.
some questionable plays compared to Ace-Arm, but nonetheless, Ace-Arm was just proving that he's a really good player.
Yeah, I think no EQ. Let me actually check something really quick. I'm gonna hop into PBA. And those spoilers are right. Let me see here. Let me see if I can find if he pasted.
I don't think that boy sends his pastes.
No, I don't think he does half the time. But yeah, Ace was okay. So let's see if he posted his paste. I don't think he did. Yeah. So I was just I was really perplexed by not going for an Acrosma EQ there. I don't know if he brought it because he didn't post paste, but getting rid of Heat Train earlier like that would have been really fucking good. So,
Yeah.
um,
Did we ever see an
kind of
item
went
on
for that.
Heatran?
Yeah, it's Shuga. He
It was
got knocked
Shuka.
off by Necrozma, yeah.
Okay.
So, um, right item on Heatran, but I guess slightly wrong set on Necrozma.
Mm-hmm.
So that's about it, though. I think Ace Arm just played well. I think that boy didn't necessarily play poorly either. Um, standings wise, it's nice to see that Achilles
He's back at the top.
back at the top. Yeah, I think Chris has been playing extremely well for this being his first time in PBA.
Mm-hmm. I think this is his first league ever, which is
Yeah, but
impressive.
Chris very clearly has experience. I don't know if he played a lot of ladder or something like that, but you can
But
tell he doesn't play like he's new.
for sure. And then you have
Um,
Shade, Ben, Ginger, Dat Boy, Shady, and then you have a bunch of
I,
other 2-4 teams that are like kind of struggling to get there. I think Ballhawk is out. He had some
yeah,
unfortunate
Ballhawk.
games.
I think Rad is also out unless he has a good differential in his last two. I think almost all of the 2 and 4s absolutely need the 3 and 4s or 3 and 3 teams to lose here.
Yeah, for sure.
Otherwise, they're likely out. Graduate looks like Graduate, Chris, and Killy are all locked.
Yeah,
I believe Shade and Ben are probably locked too.
probably. It
Shade
depends
has
on their
been.
next 2 games.
I think Gradual is a good player too. I think Gradual says that he's bad, but I think he's still one of the more impressive coaches, especially in
I kind of
Heat.
just ignore when he says he's bad.
Yeah, I do too. But Shade has also been impressing me a lot. I think his 2 losses were super close losses, and I think all of his wins have been really solid wins.
Yeah.
I think Shade has been a very good coach.
The
I
biggest
wasn't really familiar with Shade, but
Yeah. I know Shade is I knew Shade from hearing him from TBC, with the Battle Company, which is another pretty big league.
yeah, he's been playing super well. That's who I've been keeping my eye on this season.
Yeah.
And it's still close. This is close, just like Mo.
For sure. I'll move
But
on to
yeah,
the kill leaders. The kill leaders are uneventful, honestly. There's nothing here that
yeah,
doesn't surprise me.
pretty
Spectre
boring
top
kill
5
leaders.
is surprising, but
Kind of crazy how the top one only has 11 kills, but it's been a quiet kill leader season.
yeah. I've
It's a
been
pretty close leaderboard though,
Yeah. I've
1
been
through
calling
16.
Latios the fake kill leader, but I'll stop calling Latios that. Uh, I'll give props to Chris because he's been using it well. So props to
More
Chris.
than fair.
Yeah. I called it the fake kill leader because it got a couple of kills when it didn't actually kill anything from a forfeit. But Chris is proving that
Oh
he knows
yeah,
how to
okay.
use the Latios.
Yeah, Latios. Seeing Latios up there is a little surprising because you usually don't, but it's cool seeing that. Nothing
Yeah.
on here that's crazy. They're all just big offensive mons.
Mm-hmm.
Salamence is a little surprising, but I'm pretty sure Ben got a 4 or 5-0 with it one week.
Oh, probably, yeah.
Almost positive. Yeah, I'm almost positive he got a sweep with Salamence the one week to put it up here. So,
Yeah,
everything else is pretty standard though. Nothing crazy up here.
for sure, yeah. And then finally, we're going to go to the Wash Division, the Week 5 recap. Now, I know you said Ace Arm's game you thought was the best of the 2 weeks. I thought this game was the best week. Razor Claw versus Luffy. I thought
Yeah, I think
Luffy
it
played
is.
this.
Yeah, it is
This game
Luffy,
was.
right?
It's
I think
Luffy,
it's
yeah.
Luffy. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought. So actually, I think Razor Claw absolutely played the game better than Luffy did.
Yeah, I
I don't
think.
think Luffy played poorly at all, but I think a lot of people didn't think they mattered. But the crits that Luffy ended up getting and the misses were huge
Yeah.
at the end of that game. Like I believe Razor should have had a 3-0. And it was pretty much, I'm surprised you highlighted Heracross because this was Tapu Fini in a dream. I think Vinny was the one that said that in
Well,
spoiler chat.
the thing is, honestly, I'm going to be completely honest. I only highlighted the Heracross because I was looking to see what's the best thing to highlight. I didn't want to give Fini the highlight because it got like a bit of credit or two, but if I recall correctly. But I just gave the Heracross the highlight because it was a Rocky helmet, and I don't
Yeah,
really see that.
Fini just ate it up this game.
Fini went
It was
crazy.
all Fini. I think Spectre was fine. Actually, Spectre ended up being good because I don't think Razor had a good normal type that I do not believe he brought.
I don't know Razor's normal type off the top of my head.
Dragalge in team preview is pretty much a sack for something.
Yeah.
It's slow as hell.
It
He
doesn't
trans
help when your steal is Empoleon.
he trans fine here, but he has a lot of coverage that can kill it. Pidgeot has 0 swap-ins, like good swap-ins
Hmm.
besides Empoleon.
I think
Uh,
Mega Arrow is a good swap in a Pidgeot, to be
yeah.
completely honest.
But I know that Luke. This is the battle I was supposed to play right before I dropped. There's nothing on the entire team that eats Arrow hits.
Oh yeah.
Even a Max Feeney, I think has a small chance to be 2-hit KO'd by dual wing beat on Arrow.
Yeah.
Maybe not quite. Maybe it
It's
does like
it's it's
40%, but still,
it's like
it's
30 to
rough.
40. I actually had to prep against the Mega Arrow the other day, and my flying resist is a Thunder's Therian, so I had to use a
Yeah,
Feeny.
yeah, it was rough. But all right,
Yeah.
yeah, let's hop in. I don't think there were any real heat sets necessarily. I did
Nah.
really like the Rocky Helmet defensive Hera. That was a
I
good
think
bring.
it's just more so how Luffy and Razor played this game that I put it as
I think
heat.
Mamo was for sure the right lead.
Yeah.
Literally the only lead that countered it was Urshi.
Yeah.
And he brought Hera for that. So actually brought for this game I was gonna bring really good heat for anybody listening. I was gonna bring Urshifu with Blunder Policy Dynamic Punch with Acrobatics for Heracross.
Oh, that's cool.
Um, and Acrobatics killed it. And I think that would have swept the rest of his team here for sure. But just a fun little heat mention for other people. Yeah, I mean, the fact that Dual Wingbeat doesn't get KO is impressive, but it's an EQ. So, yeah, it seems like a rough start for Luffy, but he got Empoleon down, which is important.
This
Um,
looks like a really bad start for Luffy, to be honest.
yes. Spectre, I used it for 4 games. I hate it. I don't like
I
it. I
don't
like
like
that
it.
it forces prep. I think it's not a good mon for draft format
I'm
because
gonna
if
be
somebody
honest.
has,
Poltegeist can do the same thing.
yeah, like if you know, it's just really difficult with it having just such bad coverage and most normal and dark types, if they're even remotely bulky, just kind of wall it.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, if you get a matchup where their normal type's not great and their dark type's not great, it goes crazy.
for
But
sure.
otherwise, it doesn't work well. Luffy's just kind of stalling with these are just some stall turns pretty much with Empoleon and Feeny going back and forth, but um yeah, I'm pretty sure it kills here. Nope, not quite. We're not there yet. One more turn.
And
But
he's
yeah,
just
this is
aqua
just
jetting to get better positioning and sack it.
a huge stall. Cinderella's gunk shot, super obvious, protects a good play there. Obviously, if you're swapping a fire type in on a water, it must have some kind of coverage. This is the right sack. Feeney's back in again. I actually think if Razor just stayed in and dual wing beated with Aerodactyl on Feeny, that was probably just game right there. I know that the crit sucked end game, but if he just stayed in and did like 30 or 40% of Feeny, that was game for sure.
What do you
Like the
think
game was
won?
just completely over. Oh, Razor would have won. I think it would have been like a 3-0. If he just wing beated Feeny, and then he could have just swapped anything else in and killed it.
But you don't know about the Urshifu if it's Scarf or not.
Yeah, but he's got a Heracross right
Oh,
there, so it
true,
doesn't
true.
matter.
Yeah,
Yeah, Heracross just comes in and presses CC,
yeah. I think he
and
just wanted to save Arrow so that he could deal with Pidge.
yeah, which is fair. That's a hindsight thing, but
Yeah.
yeah, Zarud here just seemed kind of over power up's the right play. Yeah, that seemed like the obvious spot. I mean, it still did 40%, so
Yeah.
it didn't really matter, but
Now he's gonna opt to do a wing beat.
yeah, and that did what? Yeah, so that did 42%. Yeah, Surf. I think he said the crit probably mattered because I
He
think
was
he had a
bulky?
good amount of HP. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think he was very bulky. Right sack, yeah, get Zarud out of there. Here I was very confused because I don't see why he doesn't just go Mamo. Can you pause it?
Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, so what HP is the Feeny at here?
The Feeny is at 46.
Yeah, so I do not see how. Yeah, if you want to go back to when Zarud gets sacked.
Yeah, so this is the play Zarud got sacked.
Yeah, so this is fine. I do not see any world where he doesn't bring. Yeah, you can keep it playing.
Yeah.
I
I
don't
think he
see
wanted to
any
get
world where he.
I think he wanted to get the
Yeah,
flame charge off.
I don't see any world where he doesn't swap Mammoth Swine in here and ISO crash.
Yeah.
Like or EQ. I mean, like it. I just don't. I don't agree with the way
And
that
then he
that
switched
went
out
down.
here
And then
too.
yeah, and then he swapped. Then he hard swapped that out.
Maybe it didn't kill.
You know, the late game was plagued with some crits that sucked, but I think the swaps were
Yeah.
pretty questionable
Oh
on
wait,
his end.
I think this crit mattered.
I think that crit might have mattered. I believe it only did 80% without the crit. He said because he had I think that and arrow were bulky,
Ah.
so both of those crits sucked. Gunk shot, yeah, he didn't bring sucker punch, so that was pretty much just game. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but no, I actually that's why I think Ace Harm just kind of dominated that game against Dat Boy. I think even
Yeah.
though Dat didn't
I
play
can see it
poorly.
now. I think the crits kind of went a bit over my head when I was reviewing the replays. I was more or less looking at how the hell did he get out of such a bad position?
I think Luffy played Feeney extremely well this game. I don't want to take that away from him at all. I think he played Feeney exactly how he should have that whole game.
But Ace Harm had some really good plays. I agree.
Yeah, but I think Razor did slightly choke it at that.
Yeah.
I don't think he really played poorly. I think he played the early game super well. But yeah, some of those, I think he should have just played a little bit more aggressive later
Yeah.
in the game. I guess is an easier way to say it.
For sure.
They weren't bad plays at all, but yeah, okay. And then next game,
We have
I actually spoke with Shay directly after this game. This was a bit of a tilter.
yeah.
Um,
We have this
Thrush
fucking mill tank. I'd never
did
thought
bring
I'd see a
some
mill
heat.
tank.
Did bring some heat on the mill tank. I think Giga Impact is like straight memeing.
Yeah.
Because he could have just brought like double edge, which would have been just like what's the difference? Like 30 power.
Yeah.
Double edge is yeah. So like
Unless he needed the power, Giga Impact's kind of funny.
Giga Impact was super memey, but yeah, I like the Giga Impact. I think it was fun. Straight up in team preview, I think Leafeon did its job. I think the fact that he brought it here was super weird. I helped Shay prep, and I think Leafeon was not good this game. I know he brought it defensive for like Azu, and
What do you think should have came instead of the Leafeon? I don't know Scotia's team.
I'd have
Or
to look at his
Scrosh.
team, but I don't think that should have came, and I also don't think Talonflame was good here at all.
Talonflame is kind of questionable.
During prep, I think in team preview here, Talonflame looks good, but I think during prep, Talonflame seems super worthless against everything besides Pharaoh.
Fair, yeah. Talonflame loses to Latios, loses to Azu, loses to Gren, loses to Zera.
Yeah, so it's not great here. Again, that and Leafeon ended up doing some work, but I think maybe Shroff just brought them because maybe it was a surprise factor. Miltank looks great here actually. Besides against Heracross,
That's a Mega
had
Hera,
really
right?
Yes.
Oh wait,
and
yeah.
Vikavolt
Razor has the
had
regular Hera.
Yeah, Vikavolt actually has a really good matchup, and so does Medi.
Yeah.
Otherwise, everything's pretty standard. Azu can go in at later in the game, but in team preview, I think Shay has a way better matchup. But
So since you actually helped prep this game, you can share any thoughts you have as you go along.
Yep. So we'll start. Oh no, you're good. Go ahead.
Sorry, no. The music started playing. I didn't turn it off.
Oh, okay. I couldn't hear it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, man, that'll blow your eardrums out. So Rock Blast was the safe play there. So you know exactly why he went for it. I don't think anything else. 2 code. Yeah, that was a really bad play. Shay knew that right off the bat.
Yeah, staying in. I would have gone Latias.
I think he. It was just an early game over prediction that costed him a lot because Mega Hera did a ton this game.
Yeah,
and losing it like that really sucked.
Only reason I say I go Latias is because I don't see Latias doing a ton, and more often than not, you're not going to ice punch a Mega Hera because you're going to die if you get it wrong.
No, and like that's why he expected him to go for like a high jump kick or an ice punch.
Mm-hmm.
So he just over predicted it. I think it was just one of those plays. I don't even think it was a bad play. I think it was just like you're thinking what they're thinking, and
Yeah.
Schrock is very good at playing around that. He's
Is
very
that how
good
you
at
say it,
like
Scrosh?
predicting. I think it's that or Schroesher. Well, I
I'm gonna
don't
go with Scrosh for now.
Scrosher.
Yeah.
Yeah, whatever it is.
All right, Thunderwave,
Pretty
Mystical
standard. It's good
Fire.
saying it. I mean, yeah. This thing pretty much just walls it. Yeah, Pharaoh. Rest of the game is pretty standard. This good. That was a good play on Shea's part.
For sure.
Good prediction there. This was unfortunate. Keeping Gren would have been really good. Although
I actually want to go
I'm,
back because I'm kind of surprised. Shaman predicted SD because I would have
I think
expected straight fire move.
I think he also expected just a U-turn out because I mean a fire move is not good against anything on his team besides Zera,
Yeah.
and Zera will just outspeed when it comes in. So you gotta think that like that was a good play.
Yeah, for sure.
Just
Thunderwaving was great. I would not
yeah,
made that play, not because it's wrong,
I wouldn't.
was because
I
I
wouldn't
would have
have
been scared of the
either.
fire move.
Yeah, exactly. But no, that was a good play on Shea's part. But yeah, I think Gren was just a standard. I think it was just a standard expert belt variant, special expert belt.
Yeah.
Um, so sacking Gren here was probably the right play. Gren really didn't do anything this game.
Yeah, for sure.
I think Talon flame out speeds anyways, but yeah. So this kind of sucks.
Ooh, the burn
Burn
is a
there
bit
is really
annoying.
nice. Leech seed's really good. Um, yeah, Shay pretty much just gets stalled here. Really doesn't have a choice. He has to fish for like a crit blaze kick. That's pretty much the only way to play this. I think he should have kept hitting bulk up there. I think that was a misplay.
Yeah.
I don't think he should have clicked. I don't think he should have even bothered blaze kicking. He should have just tried to get like +5. Burn here absolutely blows. He borderline sweeps the game
That's
without
awful.
that burn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really loses him the game there. You can say it's hacks, but it's just the way it goes.
To be fair, that's what
Personally,
Talon Flame is. That's just what it does.
we did not know Plasma Fist.
I
made
was gonna just
contact,
say that
so
too.
was yeah.
And then here's the Giga Impact.
The Giga Impact Mill Tank. Otherwise, I wouldn't have thought it would have been great here. But the power up punch makes the set pretty good.
Yeah.
Actually, so yeah, like that's here. Then watching this thing drop a Pharaoh with a one tap fire punch,
That's
pretty
surprising.
satisfying.
That's
Yeah,
surprising.
pretty
And
satisfying.
then this
but
dies.
yeah, Giga Impact just kills it. Pretty much. Obviously, got to fish for the para.
Mm-hmm. I think
That's
it gets a
gone.
bit stally here.
So Shay's win con at this point is just
Fishing for the
para
paras.
stalling.
Yeah.
Yes, which lucky for him, he continues to get. Mystical Fire there was really ballsy but smart. Double para, which is great.
Yeah.
Couple psychics. And then I believe Blastoise. Does Blastoise just die here? Yeah, Ice Punch. Unfortunately, that's all. Yeah, he has to fish for another para. I do like this game a lot though because I think Shay put himself in a really bad spot, and he made it a really close game.
Yeah.
Which is great. I mean, like obviously, I think even with Zera Aura, he played the Zera Aura really well. I think misplaying and not bulk upping one more time was unfortunate, but
Yeah.
I mean, at that point, whatever. But yeah, no, I mean, he played it well. Sacking Hera early kind of sucked, but really didn't matter that much.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? Hera still got 50% damage on Medi, which is really nice. So
Yeah, definitely.
it's really the most you can do. But no, that was a good game. I think each coach's prep was pretty good. I think Schrosh definitely brought some surprising stuff, which ended up being pretty good for him. So
Well, the biggest thing was just the mill tank. The mill tank. I don't
Mill
really
Tank
have
was huge.
words for the mill tank.
That was a good. I like seeing a good offensive Mill Tank. You do not see it very often. So
Yeah.
that was a good bring. Good bring on its part.
So that's basically it. So the standings: Epic Pants on top. Then Catcher placed.
Epic is for sure the best draft. I think this time around. I think I had him at 3 in the beginning of the season power rankings.
Yeah.
I think everybody's in an all right spot to make it. I do see the top 8 being pretty solid outside of maybe like JCap sliding in there.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think Couture and Down can really make it. Couture has a good chance, but I don't think Daniel Down really have a shot at
Daniel
making
Lemon
playoffs.
probably is going to be difficult.
Yeah, get anything from Couture and up can make it. I think otherwise, Daniel's at -7, so he's going to have to win the last 2 games by a good margin and have Couture and not win.
Yeah.
Otherwise, Razor's been killing it. Schrosh had a couple of off weeks, but otherwise he's been playing super well.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, Katz was a replacement, as is Luffy. Luffy came in 2-2, and he's won both games. So
Yeah.
Hopeless had a couple of rough ones, but otherwise been playing well. Serp's been playing super well.
Yeah.
I think Phil's been pretty busy, so I don't think Phil had a ton of time with his first few losses.
Yeah.
But he's been playing super well. I think Pants is going to be the person to beat. I think his team's proven to be a real pain to break through. Regen Core for the win, but Pants has a really good team. So
For sure.
I think Katz is working with a good team as well, but I do have Epic and Razor kind of looking to be in the finals and making it all the way. So Razor's prep has really served him well.
Razor's prep is nutty. It's so good.
It's really good. He has very good prep. I think him and Schroff do best prep. Serp also has some of that.
Serp's
Some of
prep
that
is
random
interesting.
stuff. Yes, I like Serp's prep. Very, very unique.
Yeah.
I have to respect that.
You
So that's
have to
pretty
know
much
when
it.
to take Serp's good prep with Serp's bad prep.
Yeah. It's a give and take.
Mm-hmm.
All depends on the day.
Oh, I have the name of standings at the top, but this should be the kill leaders. Chestnut,
Again, Mega Mighty, big surprise. What a surprise.
Hopeless is Mew, then Victini, Raikou, Gallade, Darm. Vykavolt's there. I think that's just because of the Hopeless sweep.
Yeah, Shosh, I think, got a 6-0 with it. So
Garchomp and Mega
um,
Garchomp back to back is kind of cool.
yeah, it's cool seeing Chestnut on there from the
Belly drum.
belly drum sweep.
Yeah.
That was fun. Again, pretty lackluster kill leaders. It is nice to see though. That means we have very competitive divisions, which is great this year.
Yeah.
There have been more FFs this year, unfortunately, than years past. So that would explain why some mons just do not have as much kills as they usually would. But yeah, everything on here is pretty standard. I like seeing the Raikou on there. I do like seeing some Darmanitan. Everything else is pretty much from a sweep. Chestnut. I think Sneasel is from a sweep as well.
Yeah.
But pretty standard. Nothing crazy.
Yeah, for sure. And
You had a couple good sweeps,
yeah.
as you do. But
Yeah, that's pretty much it for this week's recap.
Yep.
Yeah. So, is there anything you want to say before I cut it out?
Oh, I think that's it. I wanted to say the PBA mod team appreciates everybody being patient and
Yeah.
taking
A lot of it has been on my
some
end,
spots.
so yeah, sorry about
Yeah.
that. Week 7 and 8 should come out regularly. Worst comes to worst, I'll have a 7 and 8 recap, and I'll try to make a video about playoff standings. But yeah, other than that, that's been it for the recap. Have a good morning, afternoon, evening, PBA.
Yep. Take care.